Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Flanagan. I am the lead developer and artist and everything, pretty much, here for Allonian Seed, here live on Kickstarter from now till May the 8th. I wanted to show you guys the progress that has been made since the launch of the Kickstarter, as I promised, at least at the beginning of the not this Kickstarter, but the last Kickstarter, we did some rejiggering about numbers and life things have changed and all that fun stuff. But regardless, these are just some of the features that I have added that were already planned, but just not quite fully implemented when the Kickstarter launched. And also a bit of an apology. We had planned on having an early demo for various people to test out, to kind of spread the word about the game on April 10th, which is, of course, is today. Life has thrown us a few curveballs, which, of course, is the reason why we wanted the Kickstarter to fund a full-time development, because life throws curveballs, and if you don't, if you can't make money, and if you don't have the stuff needed to avoid the curveballs or to hit them, to continue the analogy, then you just stay on the plate until you strike out. Anyway, enough about that, because that went a little bit weird. Here is the game thus far. Give me a moment. Oh, and what's in Blender there is the first arena for the multiplayer game. It's not ready yet. Okay. So, of course, as we've always said in the past, or I try to put in every one of my posts, that these are all early days graphics. Some things will change, some things will stay the same. As you can see, Phil here, our unofficial, I guess now official mascot, doing his little idle animation. In the earlier versions, he actually tilted his head. We had some issues with the idle animation overriding where the head's position was, and it caused some really weird things in game. We'll fix that and then probably re-implement the head shifting. It was just, I had to remove it for the time in order to make sure that everything worked. So from top to bottom, actually let's do bottom to top. So of course the quit button is a quit button, it quits the game. Seed is where you go to generate new parts, or rather to gather up new parts for your bots. These can be heads, they can be and head variations, which include eyes and various utilities that come along with it. Bodies, which have special movement features like being able to run faster or jump or climb or whatever. So this is where you pick them up. This is where it generates them. The content is generated from the players blogging. Yes, I know that seems like a weird thing to add into a game, but to me, it's a it is what makes us different, and one of the reasons it makes us different. The story should be great, the gameplay should be tight, but but really what makes it different is that when I post something on Steam at the current moment, and probably throughout the development, unless something better comes along or Steam goes away, the characters get... Oh, it unplugged. One moment. My laptop unplugged. So this is probably going to turn off, and I'm going to have to do this again. Okay. All right. Crisis averted. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So anyway, as you post on Steam, there is a 7-day reward cycle. Basically, people can post and comment and so on and so forth for 7 days. They can actually do it longer than 7 days. You can comment and you can like it after that. But the game itself will only look for things that are 6 to 7 days old. After that, it goes ahead, it skips it and goes on to the next post. So not only does it ask for the players to post or to blog, it actually asks for them to blog relatively often. Now, this is not something that will make or break the game, but it is definitely a way to integrate real-life activities with in-game rewards. So just for grins and giggles, and because this screen needed a little bit of something else besides just a little box that shows up from time to time, I went ahead and added in a blog viewer. you can actually check out your blog as it stands. In later versions, we'll probably add in the ability for it to do a better job at formatting the posts. As you can see from the very top here, this is actually a image file. We'll do something with the image files. We'll make it look nice. I will make it look nice. Hopefully there's a we someday. But it'll look nice in the end. But that's that. If we make a certain funding goal, or if I just happen to decide to do it, to be honest, we will have, the game will have the ability for you to actually comment and post within the game, which I think will be really quite cool. Give people a more direct way to interact with the game and the Steam network from somewhere that is not a typical place to access it. All right. So back to the main menu. There's old Phil again. Let's go to the builder. Builder is where, of course, all the parts are open right now and all the heads are open right now. Well, I say that the first run of heads is open. Each head will have a option of 10 different variations, which are usually eyes. There might be a little bit more variation later on, but right now there'll be eye variations. Of course, Phil's eyes, the little two big, very childish eyes, are kind of like the default setting. We have 9 other eye sets that will be available for unlocking, to unlock. You know what I'm trying to say. All right, so when you first start off, you just have the Phil body and the Phil head and the Phil eyes. And then the rest of these will be unlocked as it goes. These are all done not procedurally, but through coding. All the assets, of course, are made in Blender, and then the interface itself, I think I might have made those in Inkscape. But anyway, that's not really important. What is important, though, is that each of them has its own strengths and weaknesses. I didn't show them here because I got to keep those things secret. And every one of these things are subject to change, as well as the special abilities that they have. Beyond some of them that are pretty obvious, like this one is made for swimming. It's very much like a sea turtle, so it'd be for water missions. The helicopter one can fly. The hover one has some flight capabilities, but it's more so for just getting over really rough terrain, or things that you use like a hovercraft for, I guess. Being what's the word I'm looking for? Amphibious and whatnot. Then you have, of course, various ideas on the walker. These guys, of course, look tougher. He'd be much more of a tank walker. This one has plenty of armor around the head, but maybe not so much around the legs. So maybe it gives you a little bit more speed or more stability, but it isn't as strong as, say, this guy. And then, of course, this one would probably give you a lot more speed as opposed to armor. And then, of course, we have the little Segway legs, the Segway body, which would be super fast but not very strong at all. This guy would be kind of a nice mix between tank and the Segway body. Anyway, you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. Heads, of course, will all have a various set of utilities each of them give you, as well as the eyes. So maybe some eyes you can see further, some of the targeting systems are better. The utilities such as grappling arms or laser cutters or any of those kinds of things are also available depending on the head, and also through unlocks through posting. So anyway, we'll just go through them real quick. And of course, now you see the back of the head because the thing spins around and I forgot to turn that off. But you can see the back of the heads. Look at how nice they are. All right, so anyway, but the fronts, they all have their own unique style. There will be animations that are toward each head, and maybe even a little bit more personality given to each of them as the game progresses. Anyway, again, everything is subject to change. It's an early demo. All right, and finally, let's go into the play. The game starts out when you wake up or climb out of a trash can. after being created on the 3D printer that this family owns. It is very Spartan. You can see the little thing goes on in the story mode down there at the bottom. The icon, of course, this is from the seed, or the mother, if you will. It's with the creator. It's the thing that is now inhabiting the family's PC, giving the ability for the 3D printer to print out robots that actually work. You can see the storyline more so on the Kickstarter, or and I'll have links if you say this on any place other than Kickstarter in the comments below, or not the comments, but you know where, the notes below. All right, so the office, this is very kind of a Spartan room. The family has just moved into the apartment, if you, again, storyline. And so they haven't unpacked most of their stuff, just some of their furniture's moved in, or moved around, bookcases and desks, just the bare minimum of what you need to actually start living in an apartment. You see here is some really nice shading that Godot provides from the outside world, giving a nice little ambiance. And then if we go around here, let's go ahead and I'll show you guys the various other aspects of the game. Oh, good. So every once in a while with I don't know if it's a problem with Godot or if it's a problem with my computer, but every once in a while the input is a little bit slow. I believe it has something to do with other things running on my computer, but it's not doing it now, so we should be able to do this rather fast. Okay, so old Phil's head, he has, of course, flashlight eyes, because why not? And you can see that the flashlight eyes affect the world around you, just as you would expect they would. Illuminating the bookcase and the wall, and having nice little multi-part shadows, given that there are actually two eyes, so you actually have two sets of shadows, which I thought was really cool that they were able to, it actually pulled off the way it did. And then what makes the game a game, I guess you could say, is that we have the ability to scan as the robot, which then of course gives you the ability to look all around different places in the room. It's kind of weird. It feels funny, but at the same time, if you look at it from the point of view of the robot, his head moves on his body, and so it works out that way. So when you scan an object, you gain points for scanning objects, of course, just like a lot of exploration adventure games, and then they give you information about the thing that you scanned. Then you can just go about your day. The scanning screen, of course, is still a works in progress. We'll add in more roboty things, like little sound sensor and maybe some other little doodads that may or may not do anything in the game, but it'll look cool. All right, so here you go. Each of the things, they have their own little storyline. Of course, all that is subject to change. And I think that's all I can scan in this room. Oh, I just wanted to, here, we'll just do real quick. I'm going to walk around here real quick. I said it real quick twice. This is the reason why I don't make videos, guys. All right, so there's no jumping animation yet. I know there is one in his idle animation. I just haven't queued it up in, or haven't programmed it into the actual movement of the robot. To show off those cool shadows one more time. There are light posts down below, which give you that orange glow, and then of course the moon, which you can't see in a really foggy sky apparently, because I forgot to add the sky into this video, but that's okay. All right, so up there on the computer desk, that's actually where you fell from. You can see the person, the family owns a nice System 76 machine, and the father apparently left his monitor on, and with Pop! OS and Steam Peak on there, and then next to it here, actually let me just turn on the lights real quick. Give me a second, guys. Should have thought about this earlier. I apologize if it looks kind of, again, okay, very Spartan. Shadows are a little bit overdone at the present moment, but we're working on that. Anyway, so you can see the Thelio, and then the monitor, and then the Lulzbot mini, where this little guy was printed from. This also gives you a chance to see some of the reflections on the bottom of the body, the more glossy look to the textures, which I think are nice, though it might be dropped for the sake um, of performance. Excuse me. And of course, everything you see in this is subject to change. The early demo, again, just in case you guys didn't hear it the first 3 times. And then we'll go on out here just to show a little bit more of the shadowing. Got a little light bleed there, but that's okay. Oh, okay, there's that weird input weirdness. All right, it's probably because of OBS and then this running at the same time. I do really like the light beams that come out from the doorways. I think those are really nice, and especially if we're going to do more stealthy things, that is going to make the game really quite exciting, I think. All right, so again, it's all very Spartan. They have not put up all their stuff. Most of their stuff is still in boxes. As far as gameplay is concerned, there are at least 3, maybe 4 various ways that events happen. One is from scanning things. One is from timed events, like a certain amount of time has passed, or it's this time of day. There is also, just like you've been seeing, the usual things. You scan this item instead of that item, that kind of stuff. And let's go ahead and just finish off by, and of course we have the input lag issue that I've been having. And that's not a big deal. Looks like his feet are kind of going into the ground too. There it goes. All right. Come on now. Okay. That's frustrating. Okay. Anyway, again, you can see the cool, I think it's cool, the glow from the headlight, the eye lights, the ground. Yes, Liam? No, you've already acknowledged your existence. You can talk loud.
What about make a event happen and show that the events are actually real?
Well, okay. Well, they saw the beginning one, but yeah, that's what I'm about to do. All right, so let's finish up here real quick. Let's scan this one more item. I'll show the item. I think it's this one that I have. I was about to do that. Thank you, Liam. Anyway, so here we go. We're gonna scan this last thing, and I think and this is one of the ones. Okay, so now you have a voice from a person making noise. Of course, you have that. We'll go click on those things. There are no sounds yet in our demo because okay, so now I'm going to run in here. Okay, we'll hide out here and turn off our lights. All right, so at this point, then the family would then come out, and then they'd start making coffee, and you could watch them and scan them and all sorts of the fun stuff. So anyway, again, early demo, that's what we have so far. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned as we will probably show off the battle system and other various things in a future video. Feel free to check out our Kickstarter if you're not already on that page, and check the links below. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and we would love to see your support.